Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a maze. This is Sega Masters. It's time to once again bust out the SegaScope glasses for another dose of 3D action. Today we're looking at the third game in Sega's line of 3D cartridges, Maze Hunter 3D, which was originally known as Maze Walker in Japan and given a new moniker for the Western market. This cart does deliver what the title promises, a maze game with 3D effects, just not quite in the way you'd expect. We've previously covered the first two games in the SegaScope line, Missile Defense 3D and Zaxxon 3D, and both essentially followed what was largely considered the template for stereoscopic 3D visuals in the late 1980s. Usually this means a first-person or over-the-shoulder view with all the objects and the environment emerging from or converging toward a single vanishing point on the horizon, not unlike how an artist will often use single-point perspective for their drawings. And it wasn't unique to Sega's carts either. Even the few games released for Nintendo's short-lived Famicom 3D viewer in Japan followed the same basic formula with little variation. Maze Hunter, on the other hand, turns out to be one of the few exceptions when it comes to 3D gaming. Instead of the expected first-person view, you observe everything through the glasses from overhead. In essence, Maze Hunter is like a virtual pop-up book. The gameplay itself is reminiscent of Atari's Gauntlet, as this unnamed explorer is trapped in some sort of space labyrinth and needs your help to survive while searching for the way out. Naturally, the maze is populated with strange creatures who randomly teleport in looking to slay you. To provide the game's 3D visuals, the mazes each consist of multiple tiers, and you travel between them through these portals, with the sprites appearing smaller and deeper in the screen to add to the illusion. And to this game's credit, the 3D effects are actually well done and very convincing, making you feel like you're viewing a physical maze from above instead of an image on your television. The walls do appear like they're rising from the floor, with the tiers seemingly at different heights, and your character's sprite even grows and shrinks as he leaps into the air. The thing is, you must have the glasses to view the game properly, as Maze Hunter does not have a 2D mode. I used the game enhancer code to disable the 3D so I could record this footage, but it also resulted in a few noticeable collision detection glitches. Your main objective in each level is to find and obtain the key that opens the exit, then somehow elude the hostile creatures on your way to said exit, which is typically found on the lowest tier. Yet your only real weapon to defend yourself with is this red pipe, so you have to club the creatures from close up. Unfortunately, Sega's arcade mentality rears its ugly head again, as bumping into a foe just once instantly kills you, turning you into this halo ascending into the afterlife or something. In any case, you're forced to restart the current level from the beginning and without your items, not even your pipe. You basically have to retrace your steps while reclaiming your equipment, and as you kill the enemies, more just pop in to take their place. The game does offer power-ups to aid you, which are found in mystery boxes, from shoes that make you jump farther to special protective suits that can absorb one hit. Successfully make your way to the exit and you're off to the next level for more maze hunting. The game world consists of 5 environments of 4 parts each for a total of 20 levels. In addition to the metallic region you start in, you also have to contend with a mountainous region, a forest, an Arctic-like area, and a volcanic region. Should you lose all your lives and get a game over, a secret continue code is offered to resume your adventure. But if you look past the 3D visuals, you'll discover the sad truth about Maze Hunter, which is that the actual gameplay is boring. You're just walking around killing enemies with the pipe, finding the key and reaching the exit over and over with nothing to mix things up. No bosses or anything like that. The mazes themselves aren't even that complicated, just consisting of a few branching paths that may require a bit of double backing at times, but is still mostly one linear path. Yet it gets pretty tedious just navigating the level since your character moves rather slowly, and you often find yourself with a lot of ground to cover. The various environments feel like nothing more than different coats of paint, as not many differences exist between them other than their bright color schemes and layouts. Only the ice area offers additional hazards based on its element. Also, your character sprite is decent, but the enemies are nothing more than simple multicolored blobs and orbs. The music tunes that make up the game's soundtrack aren't terrible, just unmemorable, and the sound effects are the usual uninteresting pings and booms. Despite its simple gameplay, Maze Hunter contains a surprising amount of frustration, mainly because your primary weapon forces you to get up close to your target, only to find a slight lag with the fire buttons when you try to attack. Add in the creature's unpredictable movements, and you'll usually suffer more than a few cheap deaths. Occasionally, floating balloons appear above you containing one of several power-ups that let you shoot projectiles, or even destroy everything on the screen. Unfortunately, your new weapon is only temporary and disappears after a few seconds, forcing you to go back to the pipe. Then again, you're not really required to kill the enemies anyway. In most cases, you can just simply avoid them entirely and go straight for the key and then the exit. Overall, Maze Hunter is another forgettable example of flash over substance on the Master System. It's a shame that some great 3D visuals are wasted on a piece of shovelware that didn't really need the gimmick in the first place, but ironically is the only reason to check this card out. It just leaves you feeling this could have been something special with more meat on the bone, but instead you're not missing anything by skipping it.